Hello and happy holidays, and welcome to the Get At It Gaming podcast. This is one of our pre recorded episodes. This is the time of year where Alex and I do some pre recorded episodes and we take a little bit of a break. Um, Doing a podcast all year long with very little breaks or missed episodes is exhausting. So, this is our time to do that and enjoy some family time. As always, episodes will be released on normal episodes are released on Wednesdays, every other week, also on YouTube as well. Make sure you are going on wherever you get your podcast from, hit subscribe. Make sure on iTunes, hit subscribe, but also there's a thing where it says automatic downloads. Hit that. That'd be awesome. And always go to YouTube and check us out there. So, end of the year, last year, Alex and I did an episode of what we thought was going to be happening in the year 2022. And so this is our one for to see how close we were and um, to also talk about, what we think was going to be coming out, what we think will happen in 2023.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of go over our list here. But before we get into that, I am Ben.
I was about to say, and I am Alex. I was wondering, I was like, you keep saying Alex, Alex, Alex. I wanted to be like, hey, but who are you?
Yeah, I got to jump the shark there.
Yeah, it's fine, Fonzie. You can do it. It's cool.
Yeah. But, uh, you know, we're going to kind of jump into this one here. It's funny. I'm looking at the list. You're number 6. I was very, very adamant about not giving you that point.
Yeah, I know. I added that 6 on purpose. It was kind of a joke because I actually thought I was going to get it. But
there have been some times, and here's what's funny. We'll go through it and I'll explain more then, but let's jump into the list here. Alex, what was your number 1?
PS5s will still be impossible to find. Guess who gets a big old point for that one? That's a me. Overall, PS5s have been really hard to find until recently.
Yeah. And the only reason they're like a little bit easier to find now is because of the God of War Ragnarok version.
And Horizon. Horizon had a version too recently.
2 large AAA titles that they bundled in with the PS5s. So yes, you get a point there. 1 point for Alex. This is not going to end well for me because I'm looking at my list. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so God, my first one is announcement or show Uncharted PS5 game, which I do have to say,
I'll give you a 0.5
because they did release the 2. So I get
they released the whatever you call it. Is it Legacy of Thieves?
Yeah. So it's basically a remastered version of Uncharted 4 plus the one with the 2 ladies.
Yeah.
Completely remastered, which I own it. God, Uncharted 4 on PS5 for this version looks amazing.
I'm sure because I really loved Uncharted 4, but the frame rate made me sick at certain times with Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
So hopefully playing it on PS5. I still haven't played it on PS5 yet, but hopefully playing it there or something. Like, yeah, I can actually enjoy it more for story and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give you a 0.5 there. There was no new Uncharted because you didn't say new. You just said announced / show Uncharted PS5 game. We all knew what you meant, but I'm giving you a half point.
I used proper verbiage on all of these, and I think because we've seen other people do these types of things, we would use very specific verbiage.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. Although I'm looking at some of yours too, and I'm like, oh man, so close. Alex, what was your number 2, Alex?
My number 2 didn't happen. Microsoft will announce a new Banjo-Kazooie after the rise of popularity from Nintendo Switch Online N64 catalog. That did not happen.
It did not happen. Which, here's what's crazy, and I've played Banjo-Kazooie. I've watched you play them. And
I
Nintendo,
love that game.
You know what's crazy is you'd think they would do it because Nintendo and Xbox, there's not a lot of like platformers.
Yeah.
right? And I feel those characters are like big enough that if they were to do one and then put it on Nintendo as well, it would do really well.
Yep.
Or like even if they just did a reimagine of it, you
Yeah.
know?
Although, like, to be fair, you could say that the Xbox 360 version is that because it's fixed and everything.
Right.
But like that is Xbox 360. That is 2009, 2008. So
Didn't happen.
yeah.
Well, it's okay, Alex, that didn't happen because my number two was Microsoft will show off new Fable game and it will release in
You still have
2022.
time. You still have time technically.
It's not happening. It's
Yeah.
not happening. I mean, that's
Double
such a
down. You double
huge,
down on that. You're like, yes, it will be shown off and it will release this year.
yeah.
Don't do
If you
that.
look at my list for going into next year, I was very careful about that. Nah, not really. I did some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
you did like the next one. Although it sounded like it was gonna happen,
Oh
but
my,
my next one I didn't get either. Um so my next one, number 3, was Cyberpunk 2077 next gen upgrade will still not release in 2022. It did eventually. It did have its next gen upgrade.
it did. No one's playing it, but it did.
Well, now they are because the anime
Now,
came out. Now everyone's playing it.
yeah.
And the game actually is doing fairly well because it's an actual working game. I'm actually kind of interested in trying it now that it is a working game.
I want to play it, but I have this suspicion that it's going to end up on Xbox Game Pass.
I don't know because I feel like Sony's probably gonna, like how they are with other things that's been leaked, where it says like Sony pays developers to not put stuff on Game Pass essentially. Um, so that is possible. That could happen, but yeah, it didn't happen for me, so no point for me there. What's your next one?
I look at this and laugh. God, I was so adamant that this was going to happen.
We didn't get anything.
No. Nintendo Switch Online will add Game Boy in 2022. Here's what's funny.
September would have been the month.
Yeah. Here's what's funny is they have the capabilities of doing it.
Yeah, we learned that.
And their numbers are not great for their online. I think like at first people like did this short upgrade, but as this new year's rolling around, a lot of
I
people
haven't so mine's actually expired right now. I haven't renewed it. It's been expired since mid October. Because I just haven't been playing my Switch. But I'm gonna get it again eventually because of Pokemon and all that. But yeah, like why play Game Boy when you just play a analog pocket? So
yeah, and I think in their Game Boy library, even if they weren't talking about third party stuff, they have enough first party that they can just fill that.
yeah,
Several Mario games, a couple Wario games.
Pokemon if they let them.
Yeah, I would think that'd be so awesome to play Pokemon. You know, red, blue, and
Mother
yellow.
3.
Yeah, but at this point, I don't think it'll happen.
You know what else won't happen? My number 4. After a backlash of the cloud versions, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 2.5 HD Collection will release on Switch as a normal version. Did not happen. However, we did get, this isn't going to count as a point for me, but I do want to clarify. We did get Nier Automata. We got that recently released on Nintendo Switch, and it runs amazingly. It's like that. So like there is a way to port these games. If Nier can go on the Switch, like do Kingdom Hearts. It's not hard then. You can clearly do it. You just don't want to for some reason.
Well, and like I think it was like yesterday or today, PlayStation Plus, if you were the top tier, they released all of these Kingdom Hearts games.
No, middle tier. If you're middle tier, you get it.
Middle tier, yeah. All of them, including the
rhythm
last, yeah,
Melody of Memory.
I think Sony's trying to think of some big things because of PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And like bleeding through people. So, oh boy. Well, speaking of that, I don't even know what this. So it said PlayStation Plus will have a
Me 0.5
higher price, but add new features. And I put like
approximately $70. So You're right and you're wrong. There was a higher price and new features that was around $70, I would say, or a little higher maybe, but I'm gonna give you a 0.5 there because there was a newer, higher price version with more features. However, your price point knocked you down a peg, and then also there are technically 3 tiers of it.
Yeah.
So now we're tied. We're both tied right now.
Well, you know, I think the price is going to drop. I
Yeah.
think they're going to drop the price. It was for them going for that $120 a year price tag was a bit much.
Yeah.
And so I think they're going to drop it. But you're right. You're right. Hey, Alex, what was your number 5?
Well, my number 5 is happening in February now. Sony PSVR 2 will release holiday 2022. That did not happen. It's releasing close to holiday, I would say, but it is not happening, so I do not get a point there.
I think it's going to get pushed. I think it's going to be like March or
Maybe.
or April.
Yeah, I don't know. Sony likes releasing things in February because that's when like the Vita came out, if I recall. The same thing with PSP. But yeah, what's your what's your number 5 there?
GTA 6 will be announced and come out winter of 2022, which did not happen.
So here's the thing. That's going to knock you down, and I'm also not going to give you a point because it wasn't really announced. It was leaked. There's a difference between making it leaked and then kind of being like, hey, we're working on a new game, but this. So like, yes, we know that GTA 6 exists. We have not seen a logo, if I recall. Yeah, so I'm not giving you a point there.
No, and I don't get a point for that. Even though it's been how many years? 6 years?
When did that game come out? 2013?
Yeah, it was on PlayStation 3.
Yeah, that's wait, yeah. Oh, so maybe yeah, I guess that would be 2013. Yeah.
And it's funny because they just throw it on a new console, which is not okay. Hey, so Alex, the bonus one on here. Alex, what was your bonus one?
Well, my bonus one didn't happen either, which was Ben will buy GTA 5 on PS5.
By the way, it's been on sale and I have not bought it.
Well, now that it has officially gone off the list, are you gonna buy it now?
No. No.
Okay.
You know why? Because if I want that GTA feel, I have Saints Row.
Oh man, I want to add a bonus one to my new one now because you gave me a hint.
And I have not gotten rid because I bought the top tier Saints Row.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting rid of it. I've not played it, but they've done a couple updates. So I'm hoping when the holiday hits, I'll be able to play some of that. Yeah. So that was last year's. What do the point totals look like, Alex?
We are tied.
We are tied.
1v1.
All right. So you know what we should do? We should just keep our points, right?
Yeah.
Take them into next year since it's a tie. So this year's gonna be a little different. We're only gonna do 3, and then Alex is probably gonna have a bonus one.
I did just add a bonus one.
Yeah,
and so it's guaranteed.
Oh, does that break stuff?
I can still hear you. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. There we go. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen is we each have 3. We're gonna kind of go through them like we did before, and then Alex is gonna add notes to make sure that we get the exact thing. So we're a little more specific on what we want for these.
Yeah.
Alex, what is your number 1?
So my number 1 is, hang on, let me get yours. My number 1 is a new Nintendo console will be teased by the press, but we will not see it. Only specs. I think it might happen.
Well, okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. That was my number 1 as well.
The same essential thing. What would you? How'd you label it though? I want to see how you said it.
I said there will be an announcement for a new Switch. It will be shown, but there'll be no release date. So they're probably going to show off the new console, and they'll say, we'll have more details to come soon. But they'll at least show off what it'll look like, and they will.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to be till. I'm not going to say
Okay.
when, but my guess would be around E3 time.
Okay.
But
So
I'm not. That's not part.
I
of
will
mine.
say mine. Ours are kind of different actually, because you say that yours is actually going to be shown by Nintendo, essentially. Mine says that it's gonna be teased by like the press. So like you know how we get those things sometimes where it's like, oh, Nintendo is working on a new console, but we're not ready to show it yet. Instead, we're gonna just talk about like what it can do and what's all those cool things that's gonna happen.
I definitely think, yeah. So they are a little bit different. I will say this. I think what's going to happen, because I feel like they've been working on it for several years now.
They have to at this point. The Switch is like too old for what it's doing.
And I think with Pokemon that just came out and it not working, that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's their bigger game, and there's problems with it. At least now these are pre-recorded, so this
could be working now.
Yeah, it could be working really great now. They could have fixed it. But the problem is that game runs too well to run on that system. So I think they're going to come out. They may not say, look, this is their date. They're going to show pictures. They're not going to show it running. They're not going to show the games. But I feel like they're going to at least show it and say, hey, we'll have soon. And I think we got another year out for that. But, you know, if they do show it at E3, I will tell everybody here, man, if they show that at E3, you best be reserving that, because that thing is going to be like nowhere. You're not going to find it. So, well, that was pretty quick. I think it's crazy our number ones. I definitely don't think you have the other two on here, but let's jump into your number two.
My number two is, I might need to rephrase it, but the PS5 redesign. So like the one that we keep hearing about, where it's like external drive and all that. The PS5 redesign will not sell well, and people will still sell the original SKU for more on online/eBay.
I think that's a safe bet. With what they've been saying about that new version, yeah, I want nothing to do with it.
That's what made my roommate want one so bad, because he didn't want that new SKU, because no one wants that. Like how it supposedly is supposed to like clip onto the PlayStation, and it's just everyone is a diskless, and if you want a disc, then you have to buy a disc drive separately. Like, no, I don't want that.
I think that happened once before. Oh yeah, that's when the Xbox said, "Look, we're going to support HD movies, and you have to buy this whole new peripheral."
Yep, HD DVDs.
They're gonna be the winner. Well, they didn't win.
Yep,
that's actually pretty good, and I could see that not selling well.
Assuming it comes out next year.
Yeah,
but
you know, and if we're having shortages, I think it might sell well.
Yeah,
but God, to buy that, then buy another piece for it, and knowing Sony's pricing, it would be almost as much as just buying a regular.
Exactly, but I feel like we're gonna see more of those, and then we'll see less of the original SKU, because people are still just trying to buy the original one because they prefer that. So,
well, you'll love my second one. Now, this one's in depth. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay. So next year we're gonna see a new Mass Effect game. For one, it's gonna have something to do with Shepard, because EA totally messed up with Andromeda. They totally messed up.
Yeah.
So and this is based on the trailer they showed earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
The girl pulled up like the N7, like whatever. I think their new game is gonna have Shepard in it. Maybe it's a prequel. You know, I don't know, but Mass Effect needs to go back to Shepard, because that's what people want.
Okay.
So I think it'll be shown at E3. That's where
do you want to put that on there?
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Okay,
so I just put next year, or I'm not even right next year. We will see a new Mass Effect game. New game will have Shepard.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, if you remember when Mass Effect 3 came out, that trailer, the long one,
yeah,
that was epic.
The game was so epic. I never played it, but like the game was like such a big deal. It even came out on Wii U.
Yeah, but it's crazy because people that did not play those games now all of a sudden want to play that game.
Yeah.
Especially when they showed the whole war scene where like all the equipment's coming out and you see him pick up the burnt ship,
Yep.
you know? And then as he starts getting ready to run, you see his gun pop up from the back.
Mm-hmm.
Epic. I would love if HBO picked up a show and it was about Shepard.
Yeah.
Hard because Commander Shepard's a woman or a man, so
Mm-hmm.
that'd be weird. But I think you're gonna see it.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely could. Um, my number 3 is we will get a release date for Kingdom Hearts 4. And I put in parentheses, doesn't have to be the actual date. We will get a date.
Yeah.
So the date could change. It could be like Final Fantasy, whatever, Final Fantasy 15, like where like they had this huge event. Kind of Funny was there. They announced it, and then the date got changed like a week later. Like I
Well,
still expect some sort of date to happen, but it could change.
and we've talked about it before. I am definitely okay if you say, look, and you see footage, and then you're like, hey, we got to move the date.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Do not pull Cyber.
Yeah.
Do not release it and then not be good. I'd rather, in some of these big games like Kingdom Hearts, take your time. Now,
Mhm.
don't take too long. Like between 2 and 3, there's a huge amount of
And technically, there's a bunch of other games in there, so
right,
those
right.
count.
But like that's when you said before that you had some really good ones, that's actually a pretty safe bet.
Especially because we got a trailer this year for 4
Yes.
already.
And it did show it looked like gameplay.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
his bar was there and everything.
Yep.
Okay, so this talk about safe bets. Um GTA 6 will come out next year.
Got it.
They have to. They have to do it. They shut down Red Dead. I can tell you right now that because I was reading the story earlier, that people are not on GTA Online, not what they want,
Uh-huh.
and their game is not selling.
Yeah.
PS5 and Xbox
Yeah.
Series X. Because the game's old.
Yeah. Old game's old.
It's like the other game's old, and the fact that they're not supporting Red Dead Online tells me that they're going to get this thing released, especially after it leaked this year. So they've got running and things are ready to go. They just need to give us the game, and I'm not going to give a date. I'm not going to give a date of when it comes out. I just said this year.
I don't think it's going to happen, and that is because the game is not ready. And there was so much backlash, as there should be, for crunch. They're not going to crunch this game, or if they are, they're going to hide it. So I don't think this game is going to come out until maybe 2024 at the earliest, because that game did not look ready enough.
I think if it comes out in 2024, it's just not going to do well. I mean,
it's GTA. I feel like it'll do well.
I got
not
my
as well as 5 for sure.
I mean, I got my GTA fixed for Saints. Now Saints Row is a little more funnier, but they have. So besides that, they came out with that. What was it? The Grand Theft Auto, like whatever edition they had, like Grand Theft Auto 1, 2, and San Andreas.
Yeah.
It flopped because it did not run well. It looked like it was actually the cell phone games. They didn't do anything to it. Also, it makes me nervous because if you notice this year, some of the big people from Rockstar left.
Yep.
And I think it's they got to do something. I think it's been a weird year. People leaving
just remember though, Rockstar makes bad games like Earthworm Jim 3D, because this is still on my desk because I don't move anything. I need to clean this desk. This is from our previous episode that has already aired like weeks. It's still here.
So what's your bonus one? I'm kind of anxious to hear this one.
Well, see, now that I'm gonna say it, you're not gonna do it out of spite. So I'm helping you in the long run. Ben will not wait. Ben will buy GTA 5 on Xbox Series X.
So let me ask this. So what if it shows up as a Game Pass
That doesn't
game?
count.
Okay. Because they did release Vice City. Yeah, the second one, the definitive edition on Game Pass.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, no.
yeah,
Game
I
Pass
think
doesn't count. I think you're gonna buy the disc, and you might even buy it like here soon. Like as we're recording again, we're recording early, so like Black Friday, you might buy it. Unless you're going to go out of your way now and not buy GTA 5,
you know,
because maybe these bonus things, because they're about GTA, maybe this is just to help you. Maybe I'm just trying to help you stop buying the game 10 times.
well, and I think the last time I bought it, and you were like shaking your head and when I bought it, I actually went through and started playing the story, and I was bored.
Yep, because you already know the
Uh,
story.
and I've played it like I finished it like 3 times with different endings,
Yeah,
but I was craving that open world stuff,
yeah,
and Saints Row has that,
yeah.
you know. um, I think that is there. Like I have not bought what is it, Gotham Knights yet.
Mhm.
Well, we'll see after this recording if I buy it. But God, I've bought Grand Theft Auto so many times.
Too many
Like,
times.
yeah. Uh, so, but I would be anxious to see how it looks running on a PS5 versus an Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
But if I buy it, I'd never play it.
Yeah, I know.
Which, by the way, I own right now. I personally only own one game on Series X, which is Halo, because I have the
Yeah,
collector's
I
edition,
can see the energy sword back there.
and it's not even been opened. Like I took the energy sword out, but the
Yeah,
game is not open because I have the digital version.
nice,
So
nice.
wow, uh, that was crazy because like I some of those there, like I think before we were just kind of goofing around with it, but this one seemed more like we did our research this time.
Yeah,
You know, uh, I was gonna actually have on there that Advance Wars will come out next year, but I've just given up. You know,
yeah. I don't blame you.
it was so I still makes me mad because I loved playing those, and the fact to be able to play like updated versions of those, so much fun. I
Yeah.
love those games. So, well, that's been our show. We are gonna come back in first of the year. We've got some big events happening. I think the biggest thing we'll do is so it's our 3-year anniversary. First year. That means we've been doing the podcast for 3 years. Alex has pretty much been there since what was it, episode 3 or 4
Something like that. Yeah, something.
of season 1. I mean, it's been a while. Um, we've got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of new things happening. And once we get close to that time, we'll definitely be talking more about it. So don't forget to check us out on our social media. As of right now, we're still on Twitter, Twitter, Facebook, there as well. But also check out, we do have a Discord uh, server. So check us out there, and make sure you read the rules before you join. Don't come in and be a jerk. Um, but we would love to have you on there, and like we'll give you all kinds of news and updates there as well. Again, don't forget to download the audio podcasts at your favorite place to get those: Apple, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Also, make sure to go to our YouTube page where you can watch the videos of our podcast. And don't forget to subscribe there.
Yeah.
So, Alex, is there anything you want to say?
Uh, nothing much except happy holidays. Happy New Year as well, because this is happening around that time. Um, and stay safe, all that, and get at it.
Happy holidays. Get at it.